In this video, we're going to be looking at solids. We're going to be looking at the characteristics and some different parts of solids. So to get us started, I just wanted to kind of talk about a couple things with you that you're familiar with. So this is a cotton ball. It's a sphere. It's round on all sides. This is some floss, okay, and we're going to come back to this one in a minute. But this is a rectangular prism. This is a cylinder. So this is kind of a short little chubby one. And then this is a tall cylinder. Okay, so this is like a can of hairspray. So just a couple of things you can think about. Other ones that we're going to talk about are cones and pyramids. Some of these have flat sides. So the prism has flat sides, whereas the sphere and the cylinders have rounded sides. So these are not polyhedron. This one is a polyhedron as well as a pyramid. A cone is not a polyhedron. So right now we're going to look at a lot of vocab. A polyhedron is a solid that is bounded by polygons called faces that enclose a single region of space. So the faces are the sides. So I kind of highlighted here a little bit, you really can't tell, but this is a face. So any polygon is a face. An edge is a line that is formed by the intersection of two faces. So an edge is where the two meet. A vertex is a point at the corner where three or adjacent edges meet. And then a prism is what we're going to be looking at for a bunch of these in a minute, is where it's a polyhedron and you have two congruent parallel faces called bases. And today we're looking at regular polygons for the bases. A pyramid is a polyhedron in which the one base is a polygon and the other faces are congruent triangles with a common vertex. So a pyramid is going to be, think of the pyramids of Egypt. You have a polygon on the base and then those triangles for sides. Okay, those are lateral faces. So right now, let's take a look at the polyhedrons that we're going to look at below on this side. So here's a 3D drawing, and then this is the net, which means it's unfolded. So I'm going to highlight the bases. Remember, the bases are parallel faces. Okay, so these are parallel to one another, and I highlighted two hexagons. So the base is a hexagon, so we're going to call this a hexagonal prism. Okay, and because this one's got letters, I'm not going to name all of them, but when you name a vertice is the easiest. Vertice is a point. So an example of a vertice here would just be A. Okay, so it's just a point. A, B, C. So I named a few. An edge is a line segment where they meet. So AB, BC, I could do an AG if I wanted. Okay, so those are line segments where they meet. And then faces are polygons. Now, some textbooks will name it with 3 letters, like the top could be ABC, so it's a plain ABC. Other ones like to use all letters, so I'm going to just do the front panel here, E, F, K, L, and I always say just kind of pick a starting point and go around. So the faces are flat. Okay, the edges are where they meet. So looking at the dental floss here, this is an edge. Okay, this is a face. This is a vertice. Okay, all right. Now when we name our solids and their prisms, we pick the base and you can name it with the base. So I'm going to keep shading the base, and that's going to be a strategy that we're going to use when we do our surface area in the next video. So here my bases are squares. So I'm going to call this a square prism. And I have those parallel sides. So now when you go to the next one, it's on its side. So actually the triangles are the parallel congruent bases. And then it's unfolded and you can kind of see those 3 regions. So this is a triangular prism. Okay, and then here, the last one that's a prism, this is, I would probably call it a square prism because here are your bases that are squares. So another square prism. We're not going to do trick questions this unit. Sometimes you could see, like this one would be a rectangular prism because the bases are rectangles. Now, I could have the bases be the top and bottom, like the typical orientation for my floss, or I could rest it on its side. And now the bases would be this rectangle on the top and the other one on the bottom. So you can have different orientations and still get the same surface area. And if we were doing volume, the same volume. You've done volume in the past, so we're not doing volume right now. All right, right here we have one base, okay, and then 3 lateral faces going up and down. So this is a triangular base. It's a triangle, triangular pyramid. And I have a hard time spelling pyramid. P-Y-R-A-M-I-D. I always have a hard time with that one. All right, and then I would be remiss if I just didn't mention real quickly that there are 5 platonic solids. A platonic solid, 5 platonic solids, and these have all regular sides. So this guy here almost looks like it's got all 4 congruent triangles. If it did, then it would be a tetrahedron. And then one that maybe you thought about way at the beginning was back here with this square prism. So more specifically, this one is a cube, like a die. If you're playing a board game, hopefully you're playing a lot of board games right now, and you can see all of the sides are congruent. Okay, so these are polyhedron. Now on this side, I have another 2 polyhedrons with these pyramids. So this one is a square pyramid. This one is a pentagonal because the base is a pentagon, pentagonal pyramid. My highlighter has bled through. This one's a cylinder. All right, this one's a cone. And then this one's a sphere. Okay, you can see the corresponding net, and we're going to be using the concept of a net to do our surface area in the next video. All right, hope this helps. Thanks for watching.